with the stiffness method, and already we have used this method for the application to plain truss. Okay, now we are going to analyze beam problems using this method. Okay, so whatever the uh, problems we have solved based on this method, okay, so the similar steps will be there for the application to beam. Okay, here again also what you have to learn in this unit, that is to find out the degree of freedom, okay, and how it is to be calculated for beam, that we will see. That will be our first objective, and secondly we will derive the stiffness matrix in case of beam, and again we'll see that what will be the stiffness coefficient for the beam. Like in truss, we have seen the axial, there is only axial displacement in case of truss. So there is only the axial stiffness coefficient. But in case of beam, as the beam is subjected to transverse loads, that will be, there will be the two possible displacement. The transverse displacement and the flexural or the rotational displacement. So for the these two type of the displacement we have to consider for the analysis, and accordingly the stiffness coefficient is to be we find out. Okay. Now first of all we'll take the introduction. Okay. So beams are the structures commonly subjected to transverse load and normally ignore the forces acting along the axial direction. Under some exceptional situation, the axial force is required to carry, and under such situation, the axial deformation must be included in the analysis. Okay. When the beam does not have any axial force, that is, there is a no force in axial direction, then at any cross section of beam, shear force and bending moment produces rotation and deflection in beam. Okay, so whatever the analysis we are going to carry out in this unit, that is the analysis of beam without axial deformation. Okay, as you know that beam is having only the transverse loads, there is a no axial force, or we are neglecting the axial deformation as there is a no axial force, or the deformation in the horizontal direction is very less compared to the deformation in the vertical direction. So whatever the analysis we are going to carry out in this beam, that is without axial deformation. Okay, means there will be no axial displacement, or we can say the translation displacement along x direction. Okay, means the delta x will not be considered there. Okay, then what is the remaining displacement will be there? There will be the transverse displacement or the translation displacement along y direction and the rotational displacement. In case of beam, there will be the shear force as well as the bending moment. Okay, shear force and bending moment will produce the rotation and the deflection in the beam. Okay, as there is a bending moment, there will be the rotational displacement, and due to that, the possible displacement in case of beam is only two type of the displacement will be possible there. That means the displacement along y direction and the rotational displacement along z direction. Okay, hence whatever the stiffness matrix will be formed, that will be by considering the rotation and the deflection in the beam. Means we have to consider the rotational displacement coefficient and the transverse displacement coefficient in y direction in beam. So accordingly, we have to derive the stiffness matrix. Okay, without axial deformation, means there will be no possible displacement along x, because we are going to carry out the analysis as there is a no axial force. So no axial deformation. Only there will be the displacement along y and the rotation along z direction. Okay, so with the use of this, we will derive the stiffness matrix in case of beam. So if the axial deformations are neglected, then each node will have the 2 degrees of freedom. Okay, the vertical displacement in y direction and rotational displacement along the z direction. So here I have shown you in this y direction. Okay, this arrow shows the transverse displacement along y direction, that means delta y, and rotational displacement along z direction, that means theta z. That means the rotation we are denoting with the help of theta, and the translation displacement we are denoting with the help of delta. So in the y direction, there will be displacement delta y, and in the z direction, there will be the displacement theta z. There will be no displacement along x direction, that means delta x is neglected. So in case of beam at free node, there will be only 2 possible displacement at free node. Okay, so possible degrees of freedom at free node will be 2, delta y and theta z. Okay, but whatever the degrees of freedom we are calculating, that is the total number of possible displacement at the joints or at the supports. Means your degrees of freedom of a beam will depends on the type of the support provided in your structure. Okay, whatever the picture I have shown here, that gives you the displacement at a free node. Okay, where there will be no supports. So at a free node, in case of beam, there will be only 2 possible displacements, delta y and theta z. When it will be there? when the axial deformations are neglected. Okay. Now, this is a table already I have shown you in case of truss. Okay. So, just we'll take a look on that, and again we will see that how to find out the degree of freedom in case of a beam. Okay. Because in case of truss, there will be no rotational displacement, because as there is a no bending in the members. So only the possible displacement in case of truss was 2, that is delta x and delta y. But in case of beam or in case of frame, there will be the rotational displacement also, because there is a bending in the member. Okay, so that rotational displacement we have to consider. Okay, but here there will be no translation displacement along x direction is considered, because the analysis is to be carried out without axial deformation. Okay, so you can see this table, and where you can understand that this is applicable to all the type of the structures. Okay, but according to the, when we are going to analyze truss, we are not considering the rotational displacement. Okay, now in case of the fixed support, you can see that as in case of fixed support, there are 3 reactions acting at a fixed support. So the degree of freedom in case of fixed support is 0, because there is a no rotational displacement along z, no translation along x, no translation along y, because fixed support is having 3 reaction. It is restrained in all the direction, means it will not allow the structure to displace along x, y, or it will not allow a structure to rotate in that direction. So the degree of freedom in case of fixed support is 0. Now in case of hinge support, there are 2 reactions along x and along y. So you can see here the translation displacement along x, it is said no, means there will be no displacement along x, there will be no displacement along y. Okay, but it will allow a structure to rotate along z direction. So it is written here 1. So possible displacement in case of the hinge support, the rotational displacement will be possible there. Okay. So theta z rahega. Hence, the degree of freedom in case of the hinge support will be 1. Okay. Now, in case of the roller support, there are only one reaction acting along y direction. Okay. So roller support is having only one reaction. Am I audible?
Yes.
आप में से कोई लिंक भेजता है क्या कहीं आउटसाइड?
No, ma'am.
कोई लिंक भेजता है क्या जो मैं से? Please don't do this. ओके बीच में जब मेरा क्लास चालू रहता है, ओके someone asking me the permission outside in from the Yeshwantrao Chauhan College. Okay, so please don't send the link to the others. Okay, now I'll continue. So in case of the roller support, there is only one reaction along y direction. Okay, so it will be restrained along y direction. So it will not allow a structure to displace along y direction. Okay, it is restrained along y. So possible displacement in vertical direction is 0. There it is written no. Okay, but it will allow a structure to displace along x, and it will allow a structure to displace along, to rotate along z direction. So what is the possible degree of freedom in case of the roller support is 2, displacement along x and rotation along z. So degree of freedom in case of roller support is 2. Then in case of free joint node, free node, where there will be no support, okay, so there will be the possible displacement in all the direction. That means the degree of freedom in case of node is 3. Okay, so this will be applicable to all type of the structures, but when we are calculating a degree of freedom in case of truss or in case of beam, that we have to calculate according to the type of structure. Like a truss, it is the members are connected to the pin joint. That means there will be no rotation. So accordingly your degree of freedom will get changed. In case of beam, we are analyzing a structure without axial deformation. So we are not considering translation displacement along x. Delta x is not considered. So accordingly the degree of freedom will get changed. But in case of frame, the members are connected with the help of the rigid joint. So there will be 3 possible displacement at node. There will be the bending in the members also in case of a portal frame. Okay, so according the type of the structure, your degree of freedom will get changed. Okay, so I think you should understand this. What you have to keep in mind, in case of beam, we are not considering the translation displacement along x direction. Okay, only there will be y, delta y and theta z. Now, here all the same table I have written here. This is again applicable to all type of the structure. Here you can see the support reactions also, and accordingly you will be able to find out the degree of freedom. That means fixed node or fixed support, delta x 0, delta y 0, theta z 0, DOF 0. Likewise, likely hinge support, roller support and free node. Hinge support, delta x, delta y 0, theta z 1. Means theta z में displacement होगा. So DOF is 1. Roller support, delta x is 1, delta y 0, because restrained in y direction. Theta is 1, so DOF is 2. Free node, delta x is 1, delta y 1, theta z 1, so DOF is 3. Okay, now we will see some problems where you can find out the degree of indeterminacy or kinematic degree of indeterminacy. It is nothing but the degree of freedom or degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Okay, so here you can see that beam. And here it is asked to find out the degree of freedom of this structure. Okay, so again the degree of freedom, we are calculating the total possible displacements at the joints or at the support. So here you can see this beam. At the joint, there are the supports are to be provided. Okay, so at each support, first of all you have to calculate the degree of freedom. So like the first support is roller support. First support is roller and remaining two are the hinge support. Okay, so now what will be the degree of freedom in this case? Okay, degree of freedom means free to move. In which direction the beam is free to displace. And this the degree of freedom we have to calculate without axial deformation. Without axial deformation, consider the knife. Okay, so at the roller support, what in which direction the displacement is possible? Roller support is restrained in y direction. Okay, so possible displacement along
X and Z.
X and Z. Okay, X and Z, right. That is already given in the table. But we have to find out the degree of freedom without axial deformation. No axial force, no axial displacement is considered. Means delta x is not considered. So delta x will not considered here. Okay. So what is the remaining displacement will be there? Only in the roller support. Delta x we don't have to consider. Because whatever the analysis we are carrying out, that is without axial deformation. So we will not consider the displacement along x. So what is the possible displacement at this roller support? What is the possible displacement at roller support? Only theta z. Only rotational displacement. You can see in the solution. I have shown only the rotational displacement. I have shown the rotational displacement. Okay. Like, don't be confused. Okay. Here in this table, you can see the roller support. Where I have written here, delta y 0. I have written delta x 1 and theta z is 1. Is 2. This is common to all the structure for plane frame structure, XY plane. Okay. But when we are going to analyze the beam, in the first slide I told you that we have to analyze the beam without axial deformation. Okay. Means delta x will not be considered or it is neglected, or delta x we have to taken as 0. As displacement is possible due to the roller support. But in case of beam, we have to neglect that deformation. So delta x will be 0. So for the when we calculate the degree of freedom at the roller support, only the possible displacement will be theta z. Okay. Only delta x we are considering as 0. Okay. So only the possible displacement is theta z. Okay. So in the z direction, the rotational displacement will be possible. Then in case of hinge support, again hinge support is restrained in both the direction, x and y. So delta x भी 0 हो जाएगा, delta y भी 0 हो जाएगा, and only there will be the possible displacement along z direction, where I have shown in the solution. Okay. Again, the third is hinge support. So possible displacement will be along the z direction. So what is the degree of freedom for this structure? at node at the roller support 1 and hinge support 1 plus 1. So what is the total degree of freedom? 1 plus 1 plus 1 3. Okay, so आपको ध्यान में क्या रखना है? In case of beam at fixed support degree of freedom 0 रहेगा. At roller support degree of freedom 1 रहेगा, theta z ही रहेगा, delta x 0 रहेगा because we are neglecting axial deformation. And hinge support theta z 1 रहेगा. Accordingly, you have to calculate the degree of freedom. So either it may be roller or it may be hinge. The degree of freedom will be 1. That means theta z. Okay. So here in this type of beam, the degree of freedom is 3. Understood? You have to neglect the delta x deformation in case of beam. So we will consider delta x is 0. Okay. Only there will be y and z. Okay. What is the coordinate axis or normal coordinate axis? अपन कैसे जाते हैं? X, Y, Z. So x is delta x, y is delta y, and z is theta z. But delta x is not considered. Hence there will be at free node there will be delta y and theta z. Now this node is subjected to support. So roller support only theta z and hinge again theta z. So degree of freedom will be 3. So I think you should understand this. So degree of freedom for this structure is 3. Okay. Then we'll go to the next problem. Find the degree of freedom, degree of kinematic indeterminacy of the following. This is a fixed support. You can see. So directly by seeing this, the degree of freedom is 0. Okay, degree of kinematic indeterminacy is 0. This is a fixed support. Okay, and this is a indeterminate structure. Okay, so there are two supports. We are finding out the displacement at the supports or at the node. So at both the node, there are fixed support. So degree of freedom is 0. Then you can see here degree of indeterminacy for the third problem at fixed support, no displacement. So degree of freedom will be 0 at fixed support. Degree of freedom at roller support, again 1, no delta x will be there. So theta z, and degree of freedom, again here it is roller support. So theta z. So possible degree of freedom for this structure is 2. Okay, only the rotational displacement will be possible. So 2 values of the joint displacement we'll have to find out. Okay, so this is the this is how we are finding out the degree of freedom in case of beam. Again, in this unit, we have to analyze a beam up to the 3 degree of freedom. Okay, and there are 3 type of the problems we are going to analyze. Analysis of beam without sinking of support, analysis of beam with sinking of support, and the analysis of the overhanging beam. So these 3 type of the problems we are going to carry out in this unit. Now you are very well familiar to the stiffness method. The steps which you have to follow, the same steps you have to follow like we have followed in truss. Only what will be the change, that there will be the stiffness matrix will get changed. Okay, and whatever the stiffness matrix we will assemble here, that will be consideration of the two type of the displacement. That is a transverse displacement coefficient and the flexural displacement. So there will be, as there is a two type of the displacement in case of beam, translation displacement along y and rotation along z direction. Okay, so I think you should be able to find out the degree of freedom in case of beam. Okay, is there any doubt? Because the first step of the analysis is always to find out the degree of freedom. What you have to keep in mind, that fixed support DOF 0, hinge support DOF 1, theta z, and roller support DOF is 1, theta z, and free node degree of freedom is 2, delta y and theta z. बस इतना ध्यान में रखना है आपको. Accordingly you have to find out the degree of freedom. Okay, then how it is to be assigned? The freedom codes, already I told you that freedom and the restraint code. Okay, and in which coordinate axis it is to be assigned? It is generally assigned in global coordinate system. So that how to assign it, that we will see when we will start the first problem. But before that, we have to assemble the stiffness matrix. Okay, because we are finding out the stiffness matrix along member axis and the stiffness matrix along the structure axis. Okay, so that there is only one derivation in case of beam. Okay, because a beam, it is a horizontal member. Okay, beam, it is a horizontal member, so its local axis and the global axis will be same. Okay, theta will be 0. Local x and global x will coincide with each other. So its stiffness matrix along member axis and along structure axis will be same. Okay, so SM will be equal to SMS because it is a horizontal member. There will be no need of the transformation matrix. Okay, transformation matrix transfers what? It will transfer the local coordinate to global coordinates or global to local. That we have seen in truss. But in case of beam it is a horizontal member. So its local x or member x will be same as the global x. So there will be no transformation matrix. So SM matrix will be equal to SMS matrix. So we have to derive only one derivation, okay, of stiffness matrix. Okay, so that derivation we will see in the next slide. Up to that, is there any doubt? How to find out the degree of freedom?
No.
Okay, so may I continue now? So we'll see the beam stiffness matrix. Okay, so this is the derivation we will see. It can be asked like that: derive the stiffness matrix for beam in the local direction or the global direction, because same local global same ही रहेगा. Derive the elemental stiffness matrix along the global direction. Okay, so here to derive this matrix, stiffness matrix. Okay, why we are deriving the stiffness matrix? Because the primary unknown in case of the stiffness method is the joint displacement. Okay, and that joint displacement values we have to find out, and we know the relation is that F is equal to K delta, force displacement relation. So K is your stiffness value. Okay, so if you know the value of displacement, if you know the value of stiffness and if you know the value of force, then you can find out the value of displacement. Okay, So due to that, first of all, we have to assemble the stiffness matrix. Okay, your stiffness matrix will be a symmetric matrix. Okay, so that stiffness matrix consists of the stiffness coefficient. Okay, so in case of beam, the possible displacement is transverse and the rotational. Okay, so here we will consider a fixed beam for the derivation. So consider a beam of length L and a constant cross-sectional area A as shown in figure. Okay, and the length and the area will be same. And if you here at this end A, the fixed support. Okay, if you consider this is as a free node, so the possible displacement at node 1, there will be displacement along Y, okay, and rotation along Z. So you can see in the node 1, along Y direction I have given 1 and along Z direction 2. And similarly at node 2, along Y direction is 3 and along Z direction is 4. Okay, so for the derivation of stiffness matrix, whatever the fixed beam we have considered here, okay, so here we have to release this fixed support, okay, and we have to give the displacement along the Y direction, okay, that means delta Y, and then we have to give the displacement along the Z direction, that is theta Z. Okay, so that derivation we will see. So at each node of this support, we have released this fixed support, both the fixed support we have released. Okay, so at each node of this beam will have the two possible displacement. Okay, that is delta Y and theta Z. Similarly at other nodes. Okay, so the total possible displacement will be 4, or we can say that the degree of freedom in case of this, okay, without support, there is only node I have shown, so the possible degree of freedom will be 4. Okay, so hence the stiffness matrix will be 4 by 4. Okay, translation along Y, rotation along Z at node 1, and similarly at node 2. Hence 1 Y, I have Y along Y direction, I have given 1, and similarly at the same node along Z direction, I have given 2. Okay, this is a coding, or we can say a freedom code, which is to be assigned in the global direction. Okay, so there is only at free node, there is a displacement along Y, that is transverse displacement, and rotation displacement along Z. Okay, so what will be your sequence? YZ, YZ. Okay, so at this node 1, 2, and at node 2, 3, 4. Hence the stiffness matrix will be 4 by 4 matrix. Stiffness matrix will be 4 by 4. Okay, and that stiffness matrix will consist of the stiffness coefficients. Okay, so we'll see one by one. 2 degrees of freedom, 1 translation and 1 rotation are considered at each end of the member. Okay, hence there are 4 possible degrees of freedom for this member and hence the resulting stiffness matrix is of the order 4 by 4. Okay, 2 degrees of freedom will be there. One translation and one rotation at each node of the member. Okay, let us calculate the forces developed in the above beam member when unit displacement is imposed along each degree of freedom, holding all other displacements to 0. Okay, means one by one we will give the displacement, okay, at each node, keeping all other displacements is 0. Okay, so that we will see in the next slide. So case 1 we will consider a unit displacement along y-axis. Okay, first we will allow the beam member to displace along y direction, keeping all other displacements equal to 0 at node 1. What is your node 1? Left node. And right node is your node 2. So first we will give the displacement along y-axis. V1 is equal to 1 at node 1 of the member, while holding all other displacements to 0. Okay. So you can see in this figure, I have considered the displacement along y direction is V1 is equal to 1. And accordingly, I have shown the deflected shape of the beam. You can see the dotted line, and this left node, right node, that is node 2 is fixed. Okay, and it is allowed to displace this beam along y direction. Okay, that unit displacement is to be given. As you know that the stiffness is force per unit displacement. Okay, so I have given the transverse displacement in y direction. So here you can see that the deflected shape of this beam will be like this, keeping other displacement are 0. Okay, so as you know that, as you studied the slope deflection method, so if there is a displacement at any one end of the member, okay, the moment produced at both the ends is 6 EI delta by L square. 6 EI delta by L square. Okay, that you know, and that is in the anti-clockwise direction. 6 EI delta by L square. So that is 6 EI delta by L square, and that is in the both end of the member. The moment produced at both the end is 6 EI delta by L square. Okay, so from that 6 EI delta by L square, it is written in terms of, that means force or moment. Okay, stiffness is nothing but force per unit displacement or moment per unit rotation. So that you can call it as a force or moment. Okay, so moment produced at both end of the member is 6 EI delta by L square. That is nothing but K into delta. Okay, so from this equation 6 EI delta by L square, what is the value of K? K is stiffness coefficient. Okay, so what is your value of K? 6 EI delta by L square, which is similar to K into delta. So what is the value of K? K is 6 EI by L square. K is 6 EI by L square. So here in this figure you can see that the stiffness developed at both end of the member in the anti-clockwise direction is 6ci by L square. 6ci by L square. This you can show in the force displacement relationship also. So यहाँ पे force और moment equal to क्या होगा 6ci delta by L square. Okay. So 6ci delta by L square, which is nothing but k into delta. So only I have written the value of stiffness coefficient here, that is 6ci by L square. And same at both the end of the member, the stiffness is 6ci by L square. Okay. Similarly, this is the value of moment. And if you want to find out the value of the stiffness coefficient or the transverse displacement coefficient along y direction, so that is comes out to be 12 EI by L cube. Okay. So this I will explain tomorrow. Okay, with the all explanations. Okay, so that it will be easy to understand you. Okay, so I will continue the same derivation tomorrow. Okay, so that you will be understood better. Here I will stop because only 5 minutes left, but you stay on the line. I'll take your attendance. Wait a minute. Yes, attendance is on. You can leave the class.
क्लास कोणाला जायचं आहे ना क्लास कोणता जेवण करता बरं मोकळं करून टाकू
मला मध्ये माझा क्लास सुरू राहते ना तर आउटसाइड एक एक्झिक्युटिव्ह इंजिनियर होता मुलांनी त्याच्यातून लॉग इन केलं असून का आउटसाइड यशवंतराव चव्हाण कॉलेज वॉन्ट टू जॉईन अ मीटिंग नाही केलं मी
बरोबर आहे ना जर तुला असं काही प्रॉब्लेम आहे तू मेसेज कर मला की करू नाही शकत नाही तू
म्हणून मी पोरांना विचारलं तुम्ही कोणाला लिंक पाठवता का म्हणून पाठवत असेल ना त्यांना लिंक भेटल्यावर एक दोन वेळा इथे आलं होतं मला आउटसाइड मी डिनाय करते एंट्री कारण तिथे लिहूनच येते आउटसाइड यशवंतराव चव्हाण कॉलेज
तुमचं आहे ना सगळ्यांचं आमच्याकडे कसं आलं आहे आम्ही आला ऍडमिट करावं लागतं
नाही आम्हाला नाही ऍडमिट करावं लागतं आम्ही इन्व्हाइटच करतो ना पोरांना आणि तिथे पीडब्ल्यूडी एक्झिक्युटिव्ह इंजिनियर आहे हे पोरं थोडी ना इंजिनियर झाले अजून त्याला कशाला डिनाय करू हे पोटे देत असं कोणाला शिकायचं असं नाही तर एखादा कोणी पार्ट टाइमचा स्टुडंट बिटन असं काही असं किंवा दुसरा कुठचा असं पुरं सांगतो ना तो मॅडम वरची पडाती करतो बा जॉईन ऐकतो बा थोडस
आज कसा काय टेस्ट होता
आज कंटाळा आला होता
मतलब धडधड ट्रेन सुरू होते पॅसेंजर कशी काय
पहिला क्लास होता ना एमएससी वर कंटाळा आला तो मला आज
जाऊन येऊ मग आपण नंतर मग हा येते ऍक्वागार्ड वाला
कशाला बोललो ते ऍक्वागार्डला वगैरे
मी थोडी बोलत त्याची सर्व्हिस तर दिवस ते वरची करू द्यायचं ना मग प्रॉब्लेम मला तर बोलवाच लागते ना त्याला आपण पैसे दे राहिले मेंटेनन्सचे सगळ्याचे
मीट अटेंडन्स काय आहे
तो काय करते तिथे साफसूफ करून तिथं आपण साफ करून घेऊ मग म्हटलं त्याला उशिरा बोलवत तिला मस्त बोलवतो याच्यात लिंक मधून झूम मध्ये जाते गोष्ट आता
चांगला शेवटी आले झूमवरच ना पण माहित नाही पण झूमच चांगली आहे साधी सुधी गुगल मीट चांगली आहे म्हणा आजची डेट काय आहे 3 ऑगस्ट 3 सप्टेंबर 3 सप्टेंबर आहे
कपडे
हो
काढा पाडतो तुझी पाडा संपते तेरा तन मेरा
133 होते कोणाचं नाव सुटलं